Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And today, I'm going to be featuring Malta, which is a tier 10 British aircraft carrier that is available for coal. Now Malta, I have posted multiple videos before as well, and I would always say that it is one of the most strongest aircraft carriers in the game, and if you want to learn some tips and tactics, definitely watch this video full, because this will help a lot in making your gameplay better as a CV player. And definitely give me a subscribe so that you can get more notification related to maybe carriers or other ship classes gameplay. So please subscribe for that. I would be very happy to see that. So now let me talk about these rocket planes that I'm using in Malta. Now Malta does have tons of plane in its deck. Like as you can see, I still have 9 planes on deck apart from these 12 planes that I'm launching right now. So I'm gonna drop this rockets on Hindenburg, and these are pretty good in setting fires, even though it does only have 28mm penetration as you can see. But since the alpha damage is pretty good, I still able to do like 4600 damage, and you can basically kill a lot of their AA modules, which basically mean that their AA will effectively going to be a lot less than before. Like it's not gonna be 100% powerful than what it used to be, which does help a lot. And this time I did again 6000 damage, and 10,000 damage is definitely possible in 2 strikes. It could be even more depending upon if the cruiser has more superstructure, but at least in the case of battleships it's gonna be a lot much higher, since their superstructure usually going to be a lot much bigger. But anyways, the bread and butter of the Malta, and I always say that Malta has probably the most powerful torpedo planes in this entire game. They are very, very tanky. I mean, their HP pools are pretty high because they are British aircraft carriers. They usually have high HP pools, and that's the reason why they are pretty strong in tanking a lot of AA damage. And in this case, I'm gonna go and poke this Hindenburg again with these torpedo bombers. By the way, this is my friend, and he was actually kind of frustrated when I was keep dropping him with rockets and torpedoes. But eventually, he's also a good player, so you can actually able to understand that Malta has this pretty interesting strength as well. Now, it does also have heal, which basically means that you can actually able to survive your planes under intensive AA. As you can see, there is a Vermont with defensive AA, and you can see this turn that I'm doing against Hindenburg. Now, Hindenburg is actually trying to press his brakes hard and trying to turn out to basically dodge these torpedoes. And well, lucky enough for him that he basically does some of those torpedo bombers, but you can see that I can actually do the similar shenanigans like you can actually do in FDR, which basically means that you can actually maneuver your maneuver your planes whenever you have this attack run up and running. And during the attack run, you can actually maneuver your planes and fit your attack accordingly to the ship's angle, which helps a lot in dealing devastating damage to these cruisers. Now in this case, I got 3 torpedo hits, which is not that impressive, and even then he was kind of taking a lot of damage. Like it's 13,000 damage with only 3 torpedoes, so you can see that how powerful Malta really is with its torpedo armament. But there's also one more powerful thing about the Malta, and that is these AP bombs. AP bombs have actually got a nerf, as I said multiple times, but still, even though you still have 15 bombs in payload, which is still pretty high, and I mean, against light cruisers, it could be actually potentially devastating. Now in this case, Hindenburg again is pushing back, trying to do something, and since he is sort of isolated target, I still trying to drop this guy, at least in a bad angle. It's not really the bad, it's not the good angle. But still, you did I still did 4,900 damage. It's still pretty decent in terms of penetration. I mean, usually Hindenburg is a bit notorious in not getting citadel most of the time, but still, you usually get 1-2 citadel, and that does help a lot. In this case, I dropped him again, and I got only 2 penetration since he was maneuvering really tough and hard. But poor guy getting found by my division mate Smolensk, and Smolensk, you already know that if you division up this ship with the CV, it could be potentially devastating for any ship. And in this case, that Hindenburg is actually facing a lot of music from the Smolensk, and he's actually getting HE spam to that. And look at that effect of CV and division mate with a smoke Smolensk combo. It is kind of brutal, and to be honest, it's broken, to be honest. Like, you basically spot them with ease, and Smolensk able to shred your HP like this. It's just kind of sucks, to be honest. And you can see that he's saying in the chat that you have A and smoke, I have nothing, which is understandable. He was frustrated, and this is understandable. Now in this case, I'm dropping torpedo bombers on Holland. Holland has actually very decent AA, to be honest, and even Holland is not able to shoot down planes that easily. I mean, it's isolated. He's trying to dodge torpedo bombers, or torpedoes at least, and you can see that you can actually pull out these sort of shenanigans as well against Holland. And now Holland might eventually eat 2 torpedoes. It's possible. And look at that. Oh, I got 3 torpedo hits, and I got a devastating strike on this Holland. Doesn't it remind the RTS carriers when you actually used to cross drop the torpedoes on DDs? Well, it reminds me exactly that. Like, I basically cross-stopped the Holland. He tried to dodge that salvo, the first salvo of torpedoes, and then he basically didn't manage to keep up with the turn, and he didn't manage to basically dodge 3 of those torpedoes, which managed to give me a devastating strike. That poor guy definitely felt bad, I'm sure of that. Now, these are all the strengths, and Malta is really good. But here's the weakness that is coming right around me. As you can see, Bungo shot me from 25 kilometers, and there is a Richthofen, which is a very, very dangerous opponent for Malta. And the reason why is exactly that. Did you saw that? 17,000 alpha damage taken from rockets, AP rockets of the Richthofen. Now Malta has really bad armor. It has so bad armor that a Bungo is still shooting me there, and I was trying to angle myself enough, but I think I will take some more damage. The Malta armor is really not good, and Richthofen spotting makes it even harder to tank a lot of shells like that. Its citadel is gigantic. It is so big that if you broadside for a slightly bit of time, I mean, Bungo can depth strike me super easy at 23 kilometers. It is not gonna be an issue. It is going to be devastated by AP rockets of Richthofen. It is going to be devastated by AP bombs of Richthofen, and since it does have a huge citadel, like deck of the Malta is also pretty huge, and also the citadel is quite raised, you're going to get smashed by AP bombs as well. This is one of the most important things that you need to understand and need to know, that Malta has this biggest weakness. And this weakness, if you mitigate this to whole game, which is mostly possible, if you know what you're doing and if you understand this, you can be able to do just fine. But again, we are gonna talk about these AP bombers. And now this is Edgar, a tier 11 super cruiser, a British cruiser, light cruiser, which basically means that I have a chance of getting citadel damage. And did you see that? I basically chunked Edgar like 1/3 of his HP. And poor guy does have really good AA, but still Malta has really, really tanky planes. Look at that. I still managed to get 2 strikes, no problem whatsoever, and I again did like 10,000 damage, which is pretty powerful, to be honest. And that's the reason why Malta is very versatile. It is really powerful with rockets. If you want set fires on battleships, you can also get a lot much easier time in getting floods. Did you see the torpedo floods that I have? I have 6 torpedo hits, but I also got 3 floods as well, as you can see on the top right corner, which is really nice. And these are the things that I absolutely love about Malta. Malta torpedo bombers are also very, very powerful, and I will showcase you the strength here. Now in this case, I was pretty much reversed to the spawn on A4 line, and the reason why is if the Richthofen comes back, and by the way, Richthofen is actually a good CB player, so keep that in mind. But let's talk about these torpedo bombers again. Now there is Edgar with some AA, but I do have heals. Now heals does help a lot in this intensive AA during the first attack that I'm doing on the Bungo. Now Bungo is actually notoriously bad in basically having this really bad AA, and he's going to take a lot of torpedo damage. But I skipped the Bungo here and got four floods. Yeah, I got 4 torpedo hits and also got in total 4 floods, which basically means that if you have Andrew Cunningham, which is pretty much possible in Malta, and it is absolutely recommended to grind Andrew Cunningham for British captains, because, well, if you get 4 floods, you actually have 5% increase in speed. Yeah, that's right. Like now I have extra speed in planes going for it, which basically means that it used to have 190 knots. Now it has actually 200 knots of maximum speed with the speed boost active, which makes a couple of things better in Malta. Now your speed is obviously better, and now also the entire air that you will receive from enemy ships will slightly going to be lesser because you will be spending less time because of the higher speed in return, which does help a lot. Now there's Edgar, who's trying to reverse, and I'm not sure if the Vermont shoot him, because if the Vermont does shoot him, he can be in a terrible spot, to be honest. But you can see here that I can also do a lot of damage with these rockets because the armor of the Edgar is actually not really good enough, which does help a lot. And the rest of the squadron that I have left, I just used that on Bungo and did some damage, because again, only superstructure is going to get penetrated, which is only the thing. Now in this case, finally Vermont managed to take down the Edgar, which does help a lot, but the game looks still pretty pale. And I can tell you one thing, that this game is not gonna go into our favor if I'm not wrong, but still it's gonna be interesting till the end, at least for Malta, at least for me. And keep watching this video, you will absolutely going to get a lot of value by understanding how you can actually able to make Malta work really well in your favor. Now, I use the torpedo bombers. I still have 12 torpedoes right now to use against Bungo, but I'm gonna try to use the AP bombs, because AP bombs are also really nice and you can use them very effectively. Now, it is really good against light cruisers. It is good against even Hindenburgs and Zao, which are heavy cruisers, but they are also really good against battleships. Now, if you manage to get a lot of penetration hits, like you can have a chance of getting 10 hits on a battleship, it is definitely possible. In this case, I was in a weird angle against the devastation, which means that I didn't manage to get a lot of hits, and it does result in less damage, but that's fine. But now I will showcase you the drop on the Richthofen. Now I'm actually trying one interesting thing. Malta is actually very good against aircraft carriers as well, so I just use one attack run on devastation and the other attack run on the Richthofen. As you can see, even though they are nerfed, you still get 10 penetration hits on the Richthofen, resulting in almost 14,000 damage, which basically reduces the Richthofen HP down to pretty low. Unfortunately, my Smolensk is playing really well, and in this moment, he's also, because it does have really little armor, and it's also not good against aircraft carriers, he's getting focused by a lot of ships. Even Richthofen is trying to farm, so I decided that I should try to help my Smolensk here, because it's absolutely needed. But I saw that the Bungo is gonna eat torpedoes from U-451, which is submarine, so that basically makes my life slightly bit easier, and it is still 5 versus 4. They still have one submarine left, and I know that if the Smolensk survive till like in the next 5 minutes, we do have a chance of pulling this game off. And in this case, I know that the devastation has pretty low HP, 70,000, so there's a chance that he might die from torpedoes, and that's exactly what happened. So you see, I dropped devastation in front of Kearsarge as well, and I still have a full squad ready. Absolutely amazing. And that's the reason why Andrew Cunningham with this thing, like once you get 4 floods, becomes really powerful. You have so much tankiness of the planes that they're not gonna be easy to shot down, combined with the fact that you also have insane amount of reserves, means, well, that you're possibly not going to get deplaned ever. And I'm saying ever, as you can see here, I still have AP bombs. Look at that amount. I still have full squad left till 15 minutes. It's almost 15 minutes into the game, and I still have almost, at least actually, rockets and bombers I have full in squads, and I also have pretty much 9 torpedoes right now, which is pretty okay. I mean, I still be able to do 2 strikes full on this Kearsarge, which is actually having full HP. But as you can see, that the game is pretty much sort of over, because, well, we don't have a lot of teammates right now. There is a Yodo, which I really don't have any faith right now. I lost already a teammate, which is my division mate, which kind of sucks. And you can see the Richthofen somehow managed to survive with only 1.7 HP. But I will most likely be able to finish him off with this drop, which will going to happen, obviously. But you can see here, there is a Kearsarge with rocket planes, and there is also a Richthofen, which can be a problem, because Kearsarge still have a lot of... Oh, I didn't realize that I have a lot of... Look at that. I still have 4 torpedoes, even after using these planes that I'm using right now. So you can see that I still have 4 like full torpedo squad actually. So it's insane. You still have so many planes. You're not going to get deplaned if you know what you're doing. And I have dropped pretty much insane amount of ships. Like I have dropped the Edgar, Kearsarge, Hindenburg. They all try to shoot down some planes for sure. And I still have this insane chance to have again full torpedo squad. It's insane. Now in this case, I just got a flood, which is pretty much possible. Like the Malta flood chance is really impressive, and I already racked up like 205k damage. Now this is pretty much going to happen because it's gonna be a late game. But now in this case, you can see that the Kearsarge combined with the fact that there is also Richthofen, I don't have much chance of taking on Kearsarge. Like he can basically shoot AP and basically wreck me because Malta does not have really good AA. Oh, sorry, really good armor whatsoever, which kind of sucks. He's shooting HE for some reason, which I think he should not, because Malta can be actually citadelled, even like from the bow as well. And combined with the fact that I'm also getting pinged by a submarine, yeah, the game seems to be pretty much over. It's still like 3 versus 2, and I have still a lot of chance because the Zhao is kind of getting focused from Yodo. But you can see there's a submarine. I just got him spotted, but that's not going to be enough. I got permanent fire and flood, and I'm going to die most likely here. But still, I did basically chunked a Kearsarge for like half HP, and I still have a lot of torpedo bombers left. Like I almost like again having one more squad left to drop on. And do I get a flood? No, I didn't get a flood unfortunately. But you can see the damage output of Malta is super powerful. Like it's insane. You shoot on one plane, that's fine. Because, well, Kearsarge does have some good AA. But again, I'm going to get 3 torpedo hits again, and I will get another flood. So basically, almost killing the Kearsarge as well. But again, Yodo was not doing really well. He basically didn't manage to kill the Zhao. And the game is over. It is unfortunate loss. Defeat, but it was really good game. I think you will be able to understand that how powerful Malta really is by the end of the game itself. And I was actually almost killed the Kearsarge. It was almost good enough that I will be able to kill the Kearsarge in like maybe 1 minute later. But unfortunately I died, and submarine able to manage to kill me, which I can't do much about. And still you can see 258k damage, which is really nice. 34 torpedo hits, 66 bomb hits, some citadel hits on that Edgar, and then you also get 3 kills, which is really nice. But the good thing about the Malta is that I'm getting consistent flooding, and floods does help a lot in taking down battleships, and Malta has really good torpedoes. So, and also, by the way, this is a green booster that I have used in Malta, and I got 1 million credits, so it's really good credit earner as well, and it does help a lot in earning credits. Confederate, devastating strike, high caliber, and in the team score, I got 1.6k base XP on loss, with my smallest division mate having 1.8k base XP on loss. Oh my goodness, that does suck a lot. It was a really hard carry that we are trying to do, but our team was completely garbage. Look at that Yodo. The guy who is surviving did nothing in this game. And he survived for so much long, but he have done nothing. Imagine if Yodo would have played better in this game, we might have a good chance of killing every single ship there. We even killed the carrier. So it does make a lot of sense. They have really good play. They have really good Zhao. And I think I should make a Zhao video as well, because Zhao is not really, powerful anymore. But it is still have some place in World of Warships. As you can see, if you know what you're doing, you can get 2.7k base XP. This is entirely possible. But it's unfortunate that we have a defeat this game. So you can see Richthofen, devastation, Holland. Poor Holland taking 3 torpedoes. That's pretty insane. Kearsarge, Edgar light cruisers. I mean, they are really, really gonna scare out of this Malta AP bombs, man. They can do absolutely insane damage to these poor light cruisers. It's not even funny. It's not even a joke. So I hope you liked the video, and if you do, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you into the next one. Peace out.